Well, how's your love life these days?
It's pretty good. Actually, now that I'm president, sex is even better.
Your wife Michelle?
Oh god. How's his appetizer? Obama gets to play some. Obama doesn't take that here. New York jive between.
So who are some of the women you've been seeing?
I cannot confirm or deny anything.
So, Rihanna's recently been seen with 2 black eyes.
I had to tell her twice. Bitch wouldn't listen.
This is Night Trap, the nighttime interview show for independent thought processes. Tonight, M.B. McLean will be interviewing President Barack Obama.
I'm pleased today to be interviewing the President of the United Dominated States of America, our beloved leader, Barack T. Obama.
Please, you flatter me.
Mr. Obama, you're the nation's second black president, first Democratic one. Your predecessor, Comrade W. Bush, as you know, ruined this country, initiating the Second Great Depression, swallowing our country's budget on independent wars for his conquest of the Philippines and their valuable commodities of bananas. My question for you, Mr. Obama, is now that U.S. soldiers are still fighting in the Philippines, what will you do with all those bananas?
Let's do it. I plan to give back to the citizen. My predecessor's asinine perversion for bananas was a mockery. Under the Bush administration, banana prices hit record highs because the former president was taking a good portion of the global supplies for the bananas himself. In fact, the White House is still serving banana ice creams to most of its guests because we ended up having so much.
I see. Now, Mr. Obama, not much is known about your personal life, your personal history, as it were. We know you grew up in Hawaii and served as the Archduke of Illinois, but could you tell us more about your life, more about yourself?
My father was a mighty witch doctor. He grew up in the blackest of black Africa. It was my father's unnatural gifts in the field of black arts that gave me my own background in necromancy and shamanism.
What about your mother?
My mother was a simple white girl, growing up in Midland, Kansas.
How'd they meet?
Pretty randomly. I'm not sure of the details myself. I think they were avoiding a tornado, got locked up in the cellar. My mother was pretty vague about the whole thing. My father and me only met a few times in my life. I never really had the opportunity to talk to him about it.
Well, Kansas is known as the home of tornadoes.
Yes, but I didn't grow up in Kansas. I grew up in Hawaii, actually.
Oh, really? What was that like?
It's pretty hectic, actually. It was in the middle of Che Guevara's attempt to occupy the island in the mid-70s. I probably would have completely gotten dragged into the conflict as a child soldier if it wasn't for the stern teaching of Reverend Bob.
That's really fascinating.
Marley was a surrogate father for me growing up. He taught me wisdom and good judgment skills.
But what about Guevara?
Well, he was the complete opposite, really. I actually met Guevara in the middle of all the chaos in the 70s global energy wars and Richard Nixon. Guevara was in need of my service.
Fascinating.
He tried to convince me to join, but I was resolute in my choice not to. In fact, the last time I saw Guevara was on the day the U.S. forces carpet-bombed the secret base at Pearl Harbor.
Ah, that Japanese base. The one they built after the occupation.
Very well concerned. Actually, it was here that we rediscovered the secret weapon.
A weapon?
Classified info, home slice. Sorry, can't talk about it.
Ah, okay. So what happened after that?
Well, I took the secret weapon and went to Illinois with it. My teenage years were pretty interesting. I spent time fighting against the antiquated Illinois Railroad Company.
You were a wanted man for your murders of the railroad CEOs after that.
Well, yes, but I pardoned myself when I became Archduke.
But that's where you really made a name for yourself.
Exactly. It was my valiant efforts to liberate the people from the railroad company that secured the love of the people that made me the first choice as the new Archduke. My career as Archduke was completely rock solid.
Your administration saw a massive increase in mining and construction of pylons.
We really need those pylons. They were vital in the protection of the state.
Well, if you loved Illinois so much, why'd you leave?
It was because my father came back for me when I was in my mid-20s.
Huh, where you been all your life?
I forgot that.
Well, what did he do?
He told me to go back to Africa, where I wandered around for a few years. I learned martial arts from a tribe of traveling German ninjas, and the rest was history. I liberated slaves from Amistad International, and again, the rest was history.
Thank you for your time, President Obama.
Very well.
This has been President Obama and Emmy McLean with Night Rap. We now return you to The Late Show with Andy Kaufman, already in progress.